Friends, family, good night, everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzy podcast. And tonight is a night that I know that you don't normally expect to see us, but these gentle folks has requested for me to do a NFL show. So yeah, here we are, and I just hope that you guys just join in and enjoy the discussion. This is a learning experience for a lot of us, so just join in the comment section, leave your comments for these guys, and these guys will take it away. And for tonight, the man that you always call Helenos Ban and all of that. Tonight he'll be the host. So Kims will be the host of the show tonight. So guys, be on the best behavior. First time Kims will be hosting the show. We'll deal with him proper. Without further ado, Kims, just take it away now, boss.
All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Devin. Good night, Dwayne. How are we doing tonight?
Good, good.
All right,
Good,
so
good, good.
tonight we're definitely going to dive into the NFL. On Sunday we have a full schedule of games, but I wanted us to start off with Thursday because on Thursday we saw a battle of the number one picks. We saw Cincinnati taking on Jacksonville, which is Joe Burrow taking on Trevor Lawrence. Cincinnati won the game 24-21. So I'll start with you, Devin. What's your overall outlook of the game, and also with Trevor Lawrence being
Hmm.
haven't won a game as yet, what do you think about him? Do you think he's overrated, or do you think he just needs some?
Yeah, I know you were going to mention that word, and I'm glad you started out by saying that. So I know you have him as overrated. And I know sometimes you claim you're not biased to certain players. You rate Tua to the max, and you said Trevor is overrated. But for that game, honestly, let me start with Trevor first. He didn't have a bad game. He played well. The only time we probably can criticize him when they were up 14, right? And they had the ball within like the 1 yard line for the touchdown. And
Yep.
I think they made two tries and then they went for the fourth down to get the conversion. And some people are saying the coach should have went for the field goal. But right there, if you're that close, somehow, somewhere, you have to get the ball in. That's the only thing I would knock him for. But Kims, look at this.
Uh-huh.
Prior to that game, he had like about 7 interceptions for the season. And it's like about what, like 3 games, 7 interception. He didn't have an interception at all in the game. Didn't have an
Uh-huh.
interception at all. It was
Uh-huh.
17 out of 24, 25, something like that. 17 from 25 in terms of completion rate. And he was like over 200 and something yards. So it wasn't bad. It was a good game. He didn't have a bad outing. If you
All
can,
right. So you
if
mentioned you mentioned something very important. You said that so that was actually before the half ended. They were up
right,
14. They were up
14,
14-0, right?
yes.
And at this point in time, you don't want to give momentum to Cincinnati, right? You don't want to give momentum to Cincinnati. So wouldn't you say the best thing to do right there was to just go ahead and just kick the field goal and make it a three-score game instead of a two-score game?
Yeah, I agree. Like once there was a third down, and then even though it was so close, I would not. The issue is Trevor. Because you asked me
Mhm.
about Trevor, so I would
Yeah.
knock Trevor on that. The coach went for it on fourth down. He probably should have gotten with all that tries, and he was that close. But as a coach, I mean, you have a rookie quarterback, and then you have three chances. You should have just probably kicked the field goal. That's on the coach for them to kick and go up 17 up. You'd have made a difference where the game probably would have gone overtime, and you never know. You could have been victorious in the game. But all in all, I mean, I like Cincinnati from last year. Joe Burrow showed what he is doing, and they continue to win close games. So, I mean, it was a good game. I like it. And like I said, the main issue with me and you, as I know from that, you always keep talking about the man is overrated. I'm not going to say he's overrated. He's probably not as good as in comparison to other peers. He's like the elevate him over other peers. But I wouldn't say he's overrated. But listen, he didn't have a bad game Thursday. That's my main takeaway. He didn't have a bad game as it relates to Trevor.
All right. So
I don't know
Dwayne.
what Dwayne or Damien think about.
All right. So
No,
Dwayne.
Kems know Joe Burrow, my guy. Let's put it that way. So last year, as we know, he didn't have a good year, but I think what we're seeing now is the start of his, progression. So just look out for him within I'll say give him until year 3
Okay.
to put his mark, on the game as an elite QB. I have that much confidence in him.
All right, and that's fair enough. Dwayne, let me ask you a question. So,
Yeah, and yeah, Kems, not only that. Remember the discussion was between Tua, which is your guy, which is a flop,
Mm.
as we
Different way
say. And what's the other? And Trevor Lawrence, we got beat up the other night. So who is winning so far? It was college, but now it's a big league. But who is ahead so far? Tua
we'll
is behind.
so we'll touch on that in a second. But
Okay.
let me get Dwayne in. So Dwayne, so last season, Joe Burrow had his season ended with ACL tear, right? So now, at the start of the season, there were a lot of reports that saying he was timid in training. He was a bit hesitant. But now that you have seen this game against Trevor Lawrence, against Jacksonville, how would you assess Joe Burrow's performance, and what do you think about the game?
Well, I think his performance was very good, but the thing what I worried about Joe Burrow is will the owners get the people in place to protect him? Because we all know that the Bengals are very cheap. You gotta get those two tackles to protect Joe Burrow if he's gonna last. Right? If you don't protect your quarterback won't last. So that's my main worry with Burrow. Is will he get? He has the wide out. He has the weapons on the outside, but I don't think he has the protection, and that's what he need most of all. If you realize if you look at Hibbert, you see what the Chargers did.
Uh-huh.
They went out. I got protection for their quarterback.
Most
So
definitely.
unless you're gonna protect your quarterback, don't matter how good he is, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
get that right tackle and that
Mm-hmm.
left tackle position right, so he
Mm-hmm.
can last. So that's
Okay.
my main worry with Burrow because he was excellent in the second half. They had four possession and they scored four times.
Okay. Perfect. So,
So he was
Damian brought
brilliant down the stretch.
he was definitely brilliant and clutch down the stretch. Damian brought up a point where he said that Tua is a bum, or Tua is failing, right? So let us look at the quarterbacks who were drafted in that, the top quarterbacks. So we have Justin Herbert, and I'll throw this one to you first, Devin. Justin Herbert, Tua, and Joe Burrow. You know, rank those 1 to 3, and tell me why you put whoever at number one and why you put whoever at number 3.
Well, Justin, definitely, because like I go back, I'm gonna use some of what Dwayne was saying. He did well based on the protection he had around him. Because you see what Dwayne said, they went out and get protection, so he's playing much better now. So with what he had, he still did well with the little resources in court, so to speak, based on what he had. So and he did well and improved himself as first year. You get what I'm saying? Now
Yes.
for Trevor, he hasn't completed that season as yet. It's like only what? Like 4 games? 4 games?
Mm-mm. Trevor,
Right?
Trevor is included, it's just Joe Burrow, Tua, and Justin Herbert.
Oh no, not Trevor. Oh, so definitely I like Justin. I like Justin. He's just a couple games where he didn't he threw some picks, but I'll put Justin, I'll put Joe, and Tua third.
All right, so let us look. So let us look at this a little bit deeper, because Tua is the only one with a winning record. Justin Herbert didn't have a winning record last season. Joe
Oh,
Burrow didn't have a winning
yeah,
record
bro,
last.
yeah.
However, Tua had a winning record last season. So now
But
talk to me about that, Damian.
but
Why is
but
it that?
You
Kems,
can't look
what
at that.
about the eye test, right? Uh,
Yes.
as I said, college is over. Now is the big league. Based on what you see on the TV Sunday up Sunday, who would you put ahead? Not being biased.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Um, Not being biased, I would have to put Justin first.
Okay. Well, I have no problem with that, but certainly not Tua. Regardless of the winning record you mentioned, just now.
No, but the thing is, I believe Tua is in a system that is not really Tua is kind of like in a Patriot system that is not really
Mm-hmm.
not really dependent on him to go there and do the heroics that a Justin or a Joe Burrow does. Because Miami depends on their defense. So I believe that when you take a look into that, like you cannot judge Tua on the same wavelength you would judge a Joe or you would judge or you would judge a Herbert. So
Can
who do
I?
you think doing?
Well, I'll have Justin first, Borough, and then Tour because when I look at them, who has a hit? When you look at them
Uh,
man for man, who can overcome
mhm.
like a bad team because before Hibbert,
Uh-huh.
Chargers and Atlanta were two teams that invented ways to lose.
Okay.
Every week they will be in games and you don't know how they just lose that game, right?
Yes.
Cincinnati was the Bengals. They remind me back in the days of the Saints.
Hmm.
They were not winning more than 5 games a year.
Yes.
And now they have a winning record. And the only reason why they have a winning record is because of Burrow. Well, to me now, Tua has to be in the perfect system for him to work.
True.
So that is what I'm not saying Tua is not a good quarterback, but he has to be in the perfect system. He's like more like a system quarterback more
Mm.
than the others.
And see, we have Albert Williams in the comment. He's saying that he thinks that Justin Herbert is the best. But let us go ahead and move on. So we're going to move on to the games on Sunday, and I want to get you guys' prediction and also just a little bit of telling me a little bit what you think about will happen in the game. So first, we'll talk about Atlanta versus the Washington football team. So I'll go around the table. I'll ask you guys, and you guys tell me who do you think will win and why. So we could start with you, Damien. Damien seems to be having a bit of trouble. How about you, Dwayne? Can you go ahead and let me know?
Well, whenever I pick Atlanta to win, they lose. When I pick them to lose, they win. I'm going with Washington. I
Yep.
can't, I can never get Atlanta. I've promised myself I'm not picking Atlanta anymore. So I'm going with Washington because I think they have the all-around better team. So I'm picking Washington 2017 to win.
Washington 2017. All right. And how about you, Devin?
I'm going. I'm going with Falcons, and the only reason is even though I don't like how Matt Ryan is playing, they're at home. Washington they have a good defense, but like Chase Young for the first couple of games, like he hasn't lived up to the Chase Young that we expect. You get what I'm saying? He's coming to his own now. He hasn't lived up to what we expect from Chase Young.
Definitely.
But Matt Ryan is at home, veteran quarterback, even though just like Dwayne said, I agree. Sometimes you don't know what Atlanta in the past have been doing, like just to lose the game. They find a way to lose the game, but I'm going with them at home, 24-21.
24-21. And also to add to that, if you look at Washington, one of the strengths of Washington was always their front seven. Because they have an elite front seven who can get at the quarterback. But even when they played the Bills, we saw that the Bills annihilated them. The Bills drop, I think they dropped 40 on them. So that is not what we are accustomed to a Washington defense. So let's see if, but also with the Falcons, they have a terrible offensive line. So probably Washington football team will be able to overcome that. So for my pick, I'm picking the Falcons to win. I'm picking the Falcons 27-24. All right, so the next game that we have on the agenda, the next game we have, Devin seems to have some connection issues as well. All right, the next game we have on the agenda is the Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. And Dwayne, the Bills right now is getting into their groove, playing some good football. But the Houston have lost their starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor, and are now playing with a backup quarterback in Mills. Who do you think will win this game and why?
the Bills will blow them out
Why is that?
because the Bills are running into stride. Um Josh Allen didn't play well for the first two games, and the last game he's finally found his footing, and they have too much weapons for the Texans, and the Texans ain't a good team.
Okay, all right. And I see, I believe this is Mr. Wally West is saying that Marsbury, we are rivals tomorrow, Big Ben to do the business. I don't know which Big Ben you are seeing, Wally, but Big Ben, that man look like you will
Ah,
talk about than him. So I'm not sure which Big Ben you're. So Devin,
my bet.
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
Devin?
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, they lost their starting quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, and they now have this Mills, this
Mhm.
rookie Mills. I mean, he looks like he should be in the NFL, but he doesn't seem to be on definitely not Josh Allen's level at all.
So with Houston, I feel sorry for them because guess what? Deshaun Watson, even though he can't play still with them, and I don't think we're gonna see him there anymore, or even see him in the NFL anytime soon. So that old thing is still around them. Now they have
Mhm.
Tyrod, what's his name? Taylor came in, he
Tyrod,
got injured. Now you have to go to this guy named Mills. So I just think the whole team and Deshaun and everything is just still on their mind. You know, they're professionals. I have to go out and play, but it's just a whole thing about the team, and it's gonna be like and well, I don't want to say embarrassment. I mean, the spread is almost close to 20 now. Like I
uh-huh.
think it's 17. So I see it like a 34-17, something like that.
The
They're,
first
they're
year.
gonna they're just gonna beat them up. They're just gonna beat up on them.
All right. Definitely, I think the Bills will win. The Bills right now have one of the most potent offense in the league. I know it's a small sample size so far, but Josh Allen seemed to be finding his boots, and they just have too much weapons for Houston. So I think the Bills will win, probably by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I like this guy. Euro says in the comments. They're a Super Bowl contender. Before the season start,
Uh huh.
people have them as a possible Super Bowl contender.
Most definitely, and you know what? The Bills also they did two things. They did two things where they strengthened their offensive weapons because they got Emmanuel Sanders. They got Emmanuel Sanders to come and be an extra wide receiver, and they also worked on their defense and their offensive line. So I believe that the Bills will definitely be a contender, but it always decides who is more healthy at towards the end of the season, because health will always play a big factor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So the next game that we want to pay attention to is a big game because it's a division game, and the Chicago Bears are definitely on the hot seat. Coach Matt Nagy. I know Dwayne talk about this a lot. He said that Justin Fields shouldn't have started. Obviously, there's an injury now to Andy Dalton. They still have Nick Foles there. The Detroit Lions, they're playing inspired football. They are Jared Goff, but they just don't seem like they have enough weapons. Who you have for this game, Dwayne, and why?
Well, I picked the Lions because they have been so close in so many games, and to me, the Bears are just a dumpster fire because the last game the Bears played, what that game plan by the coach was, he threw his quarterback under the bus. You can't go against the Browns with such a potent pass rush with so much drop back plays for the quarterback. You
Uh-huh.
don't utilize his strength or anything like that. He just went out and he killed the rookie confident.
Most definitely. And I see IQ Sports here saying that I watch this, but not so often. I only know the popular teams and players, and that is why we're trying to implement an NFL show because we realize that not a lot of persons, know about the NFL. So we try to impart some form of knowledge, and to see, how we can help people understand the game more and know about the players, know about the systems, and know what is going on. So Damien,
Mhm.
you heard Dwayne, and he's saying that he don't think that Chicago is doing Justin Fields any credit, doing him any favors. They're putting him to drop back. He's getting sacked left, right, and center. Do you think? I'm asking you two questions. Do you think it's time for Matt Nagy to go? Do you think it's just time for a new coach, a new voice? Because what I hear people saying is that what he did with Mitch Trubisky is the same thing that he's doing with Justin Fields. So do you think it's just now time for him to just go, new voice in the locker room? And who do you think would win this game between Chicago and Detroit?
Well, personally, I would start Foles.
Yeah.
First off the bat. I would give Nagy maybe. Say if he decides to stick with Fields right throughout the year, I would give him until the end of the year to see if there's any progress. My thing on last Sunday was I don't think he had a proper game plan to match Fields' game.
Yep.
Right? What he did with Trubisky is some of what he did with Fields last Sunday. So based on his track record, chances are, Fields will be struggling, throughout this season as well. I wouldn't necessarily go away from Fields just yet, even though I would prefer Nick Foles to start. Because I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I would say, all right, Sunday was a fluke, so let's see what you have in the tank going forward. Let's give you a game plan, Let's call players to match your style going forward. Say another 2 to 3 weeks, and then take it from there. But I'm not high on Fields, Yeah, I think he'll be like how I should put it, maybe a poor man's Cam Newton, so to speak. Yeah, but I don't think his ceiling is is way up there. Yeah, but I would stick with him, for the next couple of weeks and see where that leads.
Okay, and here I see Uriel Sawyer saying that I think he's talking about the Lions, saying that they have come close without luck so far, so we expect them to get over the line. Most definitely, and we'll see what Devin says about this. But what I wanted to say, Damien, about Jones, right? The Chicago Bears, they went up in the draft to get him, right? They went up to get Justin Fields. So I'm of the belief that if you go up to draft a player, wouldn't you have a particular game plan in mind? Okay, these are the players' strength, and this is how they can help the team. So wouldn't you think that they have a plan in mind to do that, or do you just think this coach is just clueless and just needs to go?
Well, moving up in the draft, I'm sure the coach would have had a say, right? So, if you weren't gonna game plan for him or build the team around him, I mean, at the end of the day, he's the quarterback. He's the engine.
Yeah.
So why move up and draft him? So that's why I'm saying that, give them some time to figure it out. Don't just run away from what happened last Sunday. I always comment with this problem of people just being, prisoners of the moment. Play bad this Sunday, they want us, throw you out, pick an next quarterback every week. There's no, real continuation. Everybody wants a Monday morning quarterback. So I think just give him some time to see to see what he has.
Stick a pin. Maybe the owner and the GM wanted Fields. We're not sure Nagy wanted him.
Yeah, but that is
because those are the guys that made the pick.
That's a very good point. But
So would Nagy protesting now by allowing Fields to fail? You're saying
he can't if he remember he's already on the hot seat. He went and he took Trubisky and he failed. So his job is on the line. So he doesn't have much strength in the organization.
That is true. And so Devin,
we need to put that into consideration too.
Devin, I want to get you in here really quickly.
Yeah.
So the Detroit Lions, they did a whole reset in their organization. They traded Matthew Stafford, who has been there forever, got in Jared Goff, right? They got a new coach, Dan Campbell, who seemed to be very passionate about the team and have the team playing the right way, but they're just not getting the results. Do you think that at this point in time, the Detroit Lions could pull off the win against the Chicago Bears?
Oh, I have them to win. I have them to win like 24-17, something like that. Or, But the thing is, even though we can't necessarily look at sports that way, all right. For against Ravens, they were close with Ravens. At
Mhm.
one point, they were close with your team, Green Bay too. And then,
Uh-huh.
Aaron Rodgers took over. Three of Chicago's game, two of Chicago's three games were blown out. So,
Mhm.
like I said, if you look at that, you say, all right, for the next game, this team should win over the team that got blown out two out of three games. But sports don't necessarily work that way.
And also remember it's a division game as well.
Right, right, and it's a division game. But I see a 0-3 team in a sense of Detroit. They are desperate. I mean, I know they're Chicago is at home. I'm going.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with Detroit. I think they're more desperate for the win. And just to mention, like earlier before the season even started, and we were talking, and then I I would want to. Yeah, I concede to Dwayne's argument. Dwayne and I think we were on the thread and we were saying about starting Justin Fields, and Dwayne was showing me the history of certain things. Because
Uh-huh.
sometimes you have to take technical correction. So I said,
For
all
sure.
right, fine. I wouldn't. Let's not start because I like Justin Fields. Let's not start Justin Fields. But then now you have Andy Dalton as a starter, right? He got injured. So
Mm-hmm.
then now wouldn't Justin Fields who you trade up in remember this is in the first round as a quarterback, whatever the case is, even though Dwayne may be saying that it may not be the coach's pick, is that they pick him at what 11 or 12, something like that.
I
So
think 30.
you should if it is a case where your Andy Dalton is down now, you should have some plan for him to use him in the system. You
Mhm.
should have some plan. And before that, you see sometimes even when Andy was there, he came in the game and he running for a touchdown. I think one game and he got a touchdown. He wasn't like doing much of it, but he came in every now and then. So there,
Mhm.
like you said, there should be some plan for him as the
Okay.
backup then, as a guy who you have in your top 10. Whether you pick him or not as the coach, you must have a plan as to how to use him and to be effective.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And on that note, we'll move on to the next game. Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. This game is very interesting. And I'll start with you,
Oh,
Damien. This game is very interesting. And why? Because the Dallas Cowboys, every time they run the ball more than they throw, they never lose. Right? But however, this Carolina Panthers team is number one against the run. So now you have Dallas' strength is the run. You have Carolina's strength is defending the run. So with that being said, Dak Prescott, they just annihilated the Eagles 41-21, only misplacing four throws. So who do you have to win this game? I'm not check if you're on mute, Damien, because I'm not really hearing you. Check if you're mute.
Okay, yeah, I was. No, I'm
All right.
saying I'm not a Cowboys fan, Most of us aren't. But I'm high on them this year. First, I don't know, but I see them going places, especially that Thursday night game against Brady.
Uh-huh.
I think that's as I said, eye test. I go by the eye test. Yeah, last week wasn't so smooth, but I think they'll play good in this game. I have the Panthers winning, you know, but I'm just I don't know, just a hunch. I just think Dallas will finally break out and maybe made it even to the second round in the playoffs, etc. For Carolina, I'm gonna admit I haven't watched a full game with Carolina,
Uh-huh.
so I can't say much, about their style of play so far. Yeah, but I've watched Dallas and I'm high on
Okay.
Dallas. Yeah. Mm.
All right, and see, we have Mr. Freeman here saying, "Heal up the man, them." So, heal up, General, and thanks for the support. So let me go to you now, Dwayne. Because we hear Damien said that he's high on Dallas. For some reason, he's not a fan, but he just thinks that after all this talk about being America's team and all that they were in hard knocks and everything.
Yeah,
Do
man,
you
it's about time. Yeah.
do you think that this is Dallas's year to go ahead and make it to the Super Bowl, or do you think it's all bark and no bite?
They're, Dallas is the nicest team in the league, but to be honest, they are very rounded this year. I like
Uh-huh.
their offense. I like their quarterback. I think Dak is fully matured. is in
Mhm.
full control of the offense, and I think Carolina is a good defense, but I don't know if they have been if they have been battle tested. You know, the type of team that they beat. You know, I
Mhm.
don't think they have played anyone with a offense such as Dallas. So I give
Mhm.
Dallas the edge in this game because Carolina has never trailed all season. So we don't know how they would play coming from behind, you know. Somehow Arnold is a
Darn.
new quarterback. He has been doing very well this season, but you know, I like Dallas to win by maybe I'll say 27-20.
27-20. All right. And here is Uriel Sawyer saying, as much as I don't like Dallas, have to give them the edge over Carolina. Can anyone confirm that McCaffrey is injured? Yes. McCaffrey is still out, so he won't be there against Dallas. So obviously that is a that is point to Dallas.
Big,
Um,
big, big blow because he was like 50% of their offense
Mhm.
before it got
most
hurt.
but you have to also remember, and I saw you made a point. I saw you made a point. The way that you said that Panthers haven't faced any top offense. I know the Saints had some players out due to COVID, but they played the Saints, right? They played the Saints, and whether you have James
They blow out the Saints,
and
the
yeah, they blow
ram
the
ram
Saints.
All
shot
right.
out the Saints. Yeah.
So, so
Yeah,
Kems, do
of
you
all
trust
the
Winston?
you have you have you have 5 teams that are 3-0, right? Carolina is one of the worst 3-0 teams. And it's like just like Duane was saying, they haven't been battle tested. They play the Jets. They play the Jets. I don't need to say anymore. They play the Jets. They play the Texans. And when they play the Saints, a lot of players are out through COVID. So people saying, "Oh, the defense is great." Yes, I understand it's great and all of that. Yes, but they haven't meet a big team as yet,
But
right?
my thing, but
And
my thing is,
and this is I may be wrong by judging it based on this. Like I've seen so much of Sam Darnold and they have Sam Darnold, but to me, I'm not big on Sam Darnold. They're doing well because of the defense, but Sam Darnold is still Sam Darnold.
no, no,
It's
but you say that. You
he
can't say
there may have been some progress, but I the spread is like about 5. I think this game will be like a 27-17.
David, regardless of who they play, you watch any Carolina
I
games?
saw one game. I
But
saw one.
what you see from the team, like
All right. Honestly,
because
they have
sometimes it
good
doesn't matter
defense.
the
They have good
opponent,
defense.
it's
The
what you do
defense
during
is
the
good.
game.
And
Yeah.
listen, I don't know where I never used to watch them before, but those guys, have people where, like you say, you rush, like when against the pass rush, the pass, but like they rush, they get on the quarterback quick, man. Like if you can't move around in the pocket, it's like in no times. I don't know where to get those guys, and those big guys move so quickly, there, man. It's like they reach a quarterback in no time. That's what I like about them. Still, they reach a quarterback in no time. So if you're not good in the pocket and you can't move, trust me, they're gonna get you. So I like that about them. But as like again, they play the Jets and they play Texans, and I, I want to see them go up against Dallas. And if they do good against Dallas, then okay, I'll be sold on them. But for now, I think it's gonna be closer than what they think. I think it's gonna be at least 10 points or more. That's what I think.
no,
Okay.
I know. And Devin, I see you talk about Sam Darnold, and I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold fan, but you have to admit the Jets is a toxic
Toxic,
organization,
toxic,
right?
toxic.
He had absolutely no protection. It's the same thing that's happening to Zach Wilson right now.
Toxic right now.
He had
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely
yes,
no
I
protection.
agree.
So Sam Darnold had to be turning water into wine. Now he's in Carolina. He has a running. Remember, in Jets, he didn't have a running game.
Now,
Now he has Christian McCaffrey. Guess what happened? They brought Robbie Anderson from the Jets to Carolina as
yeah,
well to help him out. Plus, they already have DJ Moore, so they have a 1, 2, 3, 4 punches where you can throw at any team. But with McCaffrey being out, I believe that it hampers what the Panthers want to do, because what the Panthers want to do, they want to run the ball and then the play action pass, right? But with McCaffrey out, that definitely hinders what they try to do. So I have Dallas to win this game because as Damian said, I just believe that this is Dallas's year to at least make up some noise. Every year they tell us that they're America's team, but we have yet to see America's team showing. And We have Mr. Freeman here telling us that Carolina defense is missing one of their top defensive back right now, so they might struggle a bit. Most definitely. Um, and with Dak playing so well, Dak playing so poised and throwing the ball well, completing over 70% of his passes, that most definitely spell problems for Carolina. So now we'll move on to the Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts, right? Oh, this I see Rad saying that Kims, you're big on stats. Darnold has 300 passing yards in back-to-back games, and that has never happened with any Panthers QB in 3 straight games. Can he continue his good form? Um, I believe he can continue his good form, but I don't think he'll get 300-yard passing against this Cowboys team. I think Cowboys they have a linebacker. I think his name is Micah Parsons. That they just drafted. That boy is hungry, man. That boy is hungry, and he gets to the quarterback, and they also have two good corners as well. So I don't think that he'll get 300 yards. I think he'll play good enough, but I just think that Dallas just have too many weapons. There's weapons everywhere. Weapons everywhere. All right, so now we talk about Miami Dolphins and Indianapolis Colts. So Tua is now on IR, so he definitely won't play. So it will be Jacoby Brissett to play, and it's Carson Wentz, right? Carson Wentz haven't won a game as yet. He wanted to get out of Philly to get a new start. Doesn't seem like he's doing any better. So I'll start with you on this one, Devin. Who do you think will go ahead and
Just like I said earlier with Lions desperate, Colts desperate. Colts desperate. And is it I think they're gonna win this game, right?
Uh-huh.
I have them to win just to the fact that they're 0-3 team, and I've seen this game against I think they play Seattle. I don't remember which team they play, but they have been coming close. Just I'm going to go with them. Like they've been playing well. It's just that they don't get the win, right?
Mhm.
So I see them. This Miami team. I thought they would have been better, but I'm going with the Colts for this one because I'm not too sold on Miami because I'm not even sure if Tua is not playing. It's going to be Brissett.
It's going to be Brissett, yes. And remember, Brissett just
Brissett
came
is
up.
not bad. He's been around, but he's not any top tier quarterback, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
I-
Remember, Brissett just
He was in Colts too. He was in
Yeah,
Indiana.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
in
yeah.
Indiana as well. All right. So I'm going with Colts for this game.
All right. Do you have a scoreline?
It's a low scoring. I think it's a low scoring game. 2017.
2017. All right. And we have Sefton Sterling saying, big up the man, them, Dwayne, Damon, and the rest of the crew. All right. So big up Sefton. So last season, the Colts made it to the playoffs, right? The Colts made it to the playoffs with all man,
Old
right?
man, yeah.
All
Rivers, yeah.
not mobile, can't move, have a lot of kids. That is what Philip Rivers is known by, right? Now they get Carson Wentz, who is supposed to be the prodigy, right? So why is it now that the Colts have seemed to decline? They have the same personnel, they have the same great offensive line, they have the same stingy defense, they have the same running game, they have the same coach. So Dwayne, I want to ask you, do you think that Carson Wentz is overrated and is it for him?
I think he's overrated, but before the season start, there was too much noise coming out of the Colts locker room with these players that are vaccinated and those who doesn't want to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that the teams that were the most noisy
Uh-huh.
during the off season, most of them are struggling.
Most definitely.
You understand? There was no cohesion in the locker room, so
And
I,
yes,
I think Carson Wentz, he hasn't won that locker room. So there are players that are looking at him with a side eye and stuff like that.
that is true.
But I
And
think they're as Devin said, they are desperate. Continue. I'll pick up my point after you.
okay, yeah. So I was saying that Sefton was just saying that Carson Wentz regressed badly from his rookie season. Miami Dolphins by 1 touchdown. All right. So and I know you were making a point, doing, and I'll let you continue, right? And You know, it has often been said about Carson Wentz, even when he was in Philly, that he's spoiled, that he wants his own way, he wants to do things his way, and that he doesn't have control of the locker room. So if you are the coach of the Indianapolis, how do you get cohesion between the quarterback and the wide receivers and the running back and the rest of the team?
Well, if I'm the coach, I would say I will, call a meeting and if you can't, as a coach, you can't force your players to respect the quarterback. The quarterback is either he's a leader
Uh
or
huh.
he's not, and I don't think Carson went is a leader, and they didn't take that into consideration when they went for him.
Yep.
Some other time, you might have a player that is a little better, but in a quarterback, you need a leader. There's
Yep.
no there's no question in Big D that Dak Prescott is a leader. No one will question that.
True.
He's not the best quarterback in the league, but he's one of the best leader.
That is true. I totally agree.
So,
And
suppose you have some other elder statesmen, so to speak, who are senior guys, and they are good with leadership. Is it mandatory for the quarterback always to be like the most effective leader? Because he may not be the best leader as a person,
Man,
but he will speak for himself. Is it mandatory that the quarterback has
but
to be leadership?
yes,
No, no.
yes, because he's the most important player to me.
That is
He's the
true,
most
but
important. He's the driving force of the team.
that is true, but I don't
Show
think
show me the great team. Show me the great team that the quarterback
Ravens,
wasn't a good leader.
Ravens, both championship. Ray Lewis was the man on the team.
All right.
well,
If my analogy is bad, you can't tell me say bad because I always up for correction.
Mhm.
Look,
no,
like
that
in basketball, right? When I see like you have down in Miami, you have a man named Udonis Aslam, right? That man not gonna play in a game, but he's in there for locker room presence, and they say like the leadership and bring it, and the star on the team may not necessarily have that leadership quality. I'm not saying that it is, but like you have some person there, that's their basically job. I don't know if that is the case
no, but
in,
then
in, in football in the locker room, or the quarterback definitely has to have some big type
Yeah.
of. I don't
All
know.
right.
I stand corrected.
Well, what happening now is and this is where I think the we even coaches getting this thing wrong, giving the quarterback, even a rookie quarterback, this big title, leader of the team, right? I believe that a veteran on any team, say it's, I mean, we all know the average life of an NFL career, 3 years. So if you have somebody on a team for 7, 8 years, this must be a reason why he's there, whether he's a quarterback or not, right? So I believe in putting a veteran over the leadership of the entire team as opposed to a rookie quarterback or a guy as fragile as Carson Wentz, who is known to be fragile. You understand? Dwayne mentioned, which team over the years, which great team had, leaders outside of the quarterback. There have been teams, majority has the quarterback as leaders, but those are like,
let me
veteran quarterbacks that pay the dues, that's been playing well over time.
so
But
let me
throwing everything to a rookie or a guy like Wentz, I think that's putting too much on them.
all right. So let me interject 1 second, Damien. And you raised some great points. I saw Uriel Saunders say that Wentz gets sacks too often, which I totally agree with. And Freeman here is saying he doesn't have to be the leader, but he has to be somewhat respected, which I
Respect. Yeah.
right? But let us talk about leader now. So it's a Ray Lewis, right? Ray Lewis was basically the defensive leader. But you see, on the offensive side of the ball, I believe with especially the way where the game is going now, where it's so quarterback driven, and everything is done to protect the quarterback, and the quarterback is the person making the most money, right? So if your quarterback is subpar, it is 90% of the time you won't win the Super Bowl. So now Carson Wentz now playing subpar football. Remember, the reason why he went to the coast, is because the year when he had his quote unquote best season, Frank Wright was his offensive coordinator. He was his offensive coordinator. Frank Wright is now the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. So they're thinking that, well, probably if he can go back to the Colts, he'll be good. But he is just regressing. And everyone is looking at him like, what's up? If you look on Carson Wentz, his body language is not good. His effort out there is not good. So I believe that, and I know you said, Damien, that rookie quarterbacks, they can't give them the keys. But who else are you going to give the keys? If I am trusting you, a quarterback, they're trusting you with the franchise here. I am giving you the franchise. You have to show me what you can do.
Yeah, man. I agree with that. But I mean, who on the Colts are gonna put? You're gonna put as a leader. I mean, why would you respect Wentz at 0-3 coming from that situation in Philly? We're gonna respect him now, and the Colts. What is he showing us? What is he doing for us? So far,
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll get that respect until they start, they start winning or something.
And he's very reckless.
Yeah, he's another Jay
Reckless
Cutler,
player.
He's just like he's another Jay Cutler, yeah.
He's just reckless, and when you're, even before, as I said, there was too much noise. One thing with the NFL, noise is never a good thing in the locker room.
Yep.
You want to be buttoned up. You don't want a lot of noise coming out of your locker room.
That is true.
Once that you see what happened with Green Bay, they were very noisy coming into the season. And what happened in the first?
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
I'm not saying you're not gonna be fine, but the noise. There was too much noise, so you had to be punched in the face for you to wake up.
Week one was aberration, man. We'll be fine.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings, who got a very impressive win. Finally, they were one of the teams knocking on the door. They got an impressive win against the Seattle Seahawks, and they'll go up against the Cleveland Browns. So I'll start with you, Devin. I know you are not a big Cleveland Brown fan.
I'm not a big Baker fan.
Oh, you're not a big Baker fan. So now, Baker, Jarvis Landry is down, but Odell is back. And you know that Cleveland has the tandem of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, right? So how do you see this one going?
All right, so I want to start first with the coach. I think they have a good coach. What's his name? Kevin Stefanski, something like that. Right. But he was there in Minnesota. He was in Minnesota for a while.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So now he's like a homecoming, so to speak, for him. So he's going back, to play against Minnesota. So you would have had some idea of how the offense or how the system is run over there. So they have the better team. But you're on the road, and you're traveling in the NFL. Anything can happen. Like you said, they play good in the last game. But I like once Baker stays mistake free and no interception, it should be good. They're good in all areas. And Beckham Jr. is back. Odell Beckham Jr. is back now, so they have Landry. I think they have any. I don't know if they have any injury, but
Jarvis is hurt.
But like you were telling me before the season start, they are loaded right across, and you were saying they could upset Kansas. And like I said, if it wasn't for Baker, they would have beaten Kansas. So what
I see editor-in-chief 3 said that don't like him. He's agreeing with you, Devin. He said don't like him. Baker, that is. And I know that
once he stays mistake free, no interception, and he just do what he's supposed to do, that the talent I think should carry him over the game. I think it's going to be like a 24-21 game, and I'm going with the Browns.
Okay, and go ahead, Damian. How do you see this game going?
Well, I'm going with my guy again, Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm going with the Vikings for this one. Yes, Browns as the as the firepower, even on defense. I think the record have quite a few sacks last week, over half dozen. Yeah. So Kirk gonna have some troubles, but I think they'll go over the hump. I mean, Landry is out. Odell can do it. Baker, okay guy. But I'm rolling with the Vikings.
The Vikings. And how about you, Dwayne? Who you have for this game?
I'm going with the Vikings. The Vikings should have been 3-0 right now.
Why weren't
The
they?
first two games that they lost, they should have won those games. And I'm telling you, they totally outplayed the Seahawks, especially in the second half. And on Kirk Cousins, he's look like Kirk brother right now. He's balling. I've
No
never
problem.
seen him play this good.
And
I'm
here we
wondering if it's the same guy.
here we have here we have the same editorial in chief three saying that Kirk Cousins the most overrated QB, and I would definitely agree with this one because
But
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
what I say is overrated. I mean, who overrated him? He's rated where he should be rated, in my opinion. I don't see anybody put him over the
no.
top.
But
You know?
so when you talk about okay, I know when we're talking about football discussion different from NFL discussion.
Mm-hmm.
When you're saying that a quarterback is overrated, I'm not talking about if you're talking about him or not. I am looking at the amount of guaranteed money that
Okay.
you have gotten from this team, and then
Mm-hmm.
against the results that you have been, bringing forward.
Producing. Okay. Okay.
And,
Okay.
and it's lopsided for Kirk Cousins.
Stop hating on the man agent. The man has a super agent.
He does. I'll give him that much. When he left, when he left Washington,
The man has the best agent in the game.
I think he got what
That's all I would say.
$84 million guaranteed. I think that's what he got, $84 million guaranteed. But I like the Cleveland Browns this year. I think they will definitely win. I think they'll definitely win this game. I think it will be a relatively easy game for them because the pass rush of the Cleveland Browns will put Kirk Cousins on the floor at least 4 or 5 times. All right, so let's move on now. I wish JQ was here to talk about his Giants, but
Oh,
we have the New Orleans Saints against the New York Giants, the winless Giants. Um, a lot of persons were saying that this is the year that the organization have to make a decision on Daniel,
Joe.
right? And there's a particular person on this podcast who told me some time ago, oh, Eli should go and sit down, give Daniel Jones the keys. He is the man for the job. And now we're seeing Daniel Jones. Last season, he was in prime position to make the playoffs, playing against two division opponents, and could not do it. Now he started off winless after he had 2 games in the palm of his hands, couldn't close the deal. So now I'm talking about you, Mr. Damian Anderson. Can you now tell me why should I continue trusting that?
Well, I have nothing to say. I have to give you, give you your props on that one. I have to admit I was wrong. I've seen enough,
Okay.
from the 0-3 start, and it's not just 0-3. It's not like he's playing well and they're losing. He's the reason why they're losing. He's one of the main reasons why they're losing. So yes, I still would say they should make the change from Eli because Eli wasn't. They didn't have the team around Eli for Eli to succeed when Jones was there. So in other words, they were in a rebuilding process. So you couldn't you cannot rebuild with Eli because Eli was on his way out. If it was a win now situation, then fine. But it was a rebuilding process. While I say, just give the keys to Jones. So I was wrong there. I admit that. So I have Teddy Bridgewater, not Teddy, Jameis, throwing for 4 or 5 TDs on Sunday, so Saints by about 2 touchdowns, yeah, for that one.
Okay, and how about you, Dwayne? How do you see this game going?
This is a trap game, you know. I picked the Saints to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants win. I'm still not sold on Jameis.
Mm.
This is a trap game. Trust me.
The thing with
Because Jameis has not done enough for me to say, oh yes, he is new and improved, Still need to see more of Jameis.
The,
But I pick the Saints to win. I'll say 24-21.
the thing, and I see Joshi Ebanks is saying, talk about my Patriots team. We have to save the best for last, Mr. Joshi. So stand by, hang around, and we'll talk about the Patriots soon. What I'll say about this game, what I'll say about this game is that um you can't. I wouldn't say it's a trap game. Why? Because I believe James, as you say, you're not sold on him. I believe he still has a lot to prove. Still has a lot to prove, and he has Taysom Hill breathing in his neck, breathing, breathing, breathing. So as a result of that, I believe that the Saints win this game. I believe that the Saints defense is so good. They're back healthy right now, so I don't see a reason why they should lose. And before I go to you, Devin, I see Chief 3 again saying that Saints should win, but they're too up and down so far. So who do you have winning this game?
All right. So look, I've seen winning. Remember, I tell you, like, well, I live in New York, but so I don't. But like with NBA, we have NBA Pass League, and I get to see all the games when I can. I only see the games that CBS and Fox showing. So if Jets not playing or Giants not playing, they'll show like some other big game. But once those two teams playing at one or whatever, they'll show those games. And we always get another game. Because most time both teams don't play at once. So I see a lot of Jets and I see a lot of Giants. Because I don't have more, I probably have to link the truck and link you and get some more money to subscribe to some NFL extra channel and something like that. But for now, I see a lot of the Giants. And like I said, for Daniel Jones, I don't think he's the guy. Saquon Barkley just coming back from injury. So they kind of limit him in terms of the run. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes, like how he used to run before and like he couldn't get tired, you can't do that too much with him because they're still watching that injury that he has. They don't want to get back into that. So he's still trying to get into his home. So he's not as effective as we used to him being. All right? So I'll give it to that. I'll put it down to that. And besides that, the only other guy I see playing good because he's making some good catches and things is Shepard. Shepard is playing good. Besides that, I don't see anybody else playing game. And going back to what Dwayne said, certain teams just know how to lose, brother. Certain teams know how to win, certain teams know how to lose. Giants is one of those teams that just know how to lose. So it's Saints by at least a touchdown. I'm going to go 27-17.
27-17. And Josh Ebanks, by the way, that's the producer's favorite team, Patriots. Producer, you're going to be in for a lot of heartache. So we're going to move on to. I want to talk about this game. I want to talk about just give me the scoreline for these games. Jets and Titans. Give me the scoreline for these games. Jets and Titans. Cohen, you could go first.
Jets and Titans.
Yes.
Oh God. This is like I'll say 30-14. 30-14. Titans winning.
All right. Dwayne, just give me the scoreline. Jets and Titans.
27-17.
And go ahead, Damian. That's the scoreline.
Titans 27, Jets 19.
All right, thank you so much. And I think the Titans will win by at least 3 touchdowns because the Jets is very horrible. No one will be able to stop Derrick Henry, and he will run outright. He'll run all over them. So we'll move on to Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs. Right, the Kansas City Chiefs is in last place in their division. Right, but who else to play than a Philadelphia Eagles team who, just got annihilated by the Dallas Cowboys? So, Damian, who you have winning this game?
Chiefs. Chiefs, of course. I hear a lot of talk. I think you're one of them who is saying that the division, is tough.
Yep.
And they don't have any room, to fall. I mean, they're behind, but to fall way behind. This will be 2 games behind now. So I think they're gonna have to play with some urgency tomorrow. So I think it will be another blowout.
All right. And how about you, Devin?
Blowout. Like 34-13. 34-13. But the only thing is though, Mahomes 3 interceptions so far. I don't used to seeing that from Mahomes, man. He makes some interception based on what I'm seeing. I'm not used to seeing that once there's no interception. And I think they're going to come back for revenge in this game. I think they're going to embarrass that Eagles team.
All right. So the thing is, and I see Chief 3 again saying that Chiefs to get back on track. All right. So you see the thing with Mahomes now. He has been making these throws all his career. Guess what? They have not been intercepted. Right? They have not been intercepted. So as a result of that, now, there is no big hoopla over it. But now, they're getting intercepted. So obviously, when the mistakes happen, then there's this big hoopla. But for this game, I think this will be an easy win for Chiefs. What do you say, Dwayne?
Chiefs 31, Eagles 20.
And we have
Because the Chiefs defense is still suspect, so
still,
I'll give the
still
Eagles
suspect.
20.
Most definitely. And
Yeah. What's his name? Raj. Yeah. I mean, Josh Gardner. I mean, what can you think about it other than he'll get suspended again? But if he does decide to, to stay clean and play a ball, I think he can, maybe get back in shape around, week 8, week 10, thereabout. I don't think he'll be playing tomorrow, but as Stephen A would say, stay off the weed. If he can avoid that, then he should be doing some damage, late in the season. Yeah.
So this is the thing about me and Josh Gordon, right? This thing about me and Josh Gordon is that this man is probably the luckiest man in the world because this
Yes,
man has
sir.
so much opportunity, right? And I think Chiefs just got him to just get him, I guess, because I don't think Chiefs need any more offensive weapon. Offense is not the problem. Defense is where they struggle. I think they need to go and get out some more defensive personnel. They need a pass rush. They need another corner. And they need a linebacker. So I believe those are the things that Chiefs need. But they always say the rich get richer. So if they can get another elite offensive player like Josh Gordon is, when he's not on the weed and on the other stuff that he's been taking, he is one of the top 10 wide receivers in this league. So the only thing is that can he stay off those stuff? Because I believe this is the last chance for him. If he gets caught again, I believe he's done for. He wants to win a Super Bowl. So, let's see what happens. Devin, you gave your prediction, right?
Yeah.
I was just double checking. All right. So the next game that we have going on, I believe this one will be a big game because it's actually top of division clash. It's the LA Rams who, brushed Tom Brady and the Bucks aside versus Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. That's a little bit of stat. Kyler Murray has scored a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in every game this season, right? So, but the Rams have one of the stingiest defense this season, and that is why they went out and get Matty Stafford because the Rams coach was tired of coaching the perfect game. They had to coach a perfect game for Jared Goff in order for them to win. But with Matthew Stafford, they can just do things on the fly because obviously he's a much better quarterback. So with that being said, Damian, who do you think will win this game and why?
Rams, I've watched, two of their games, including last weekend, and Tampa Bay is rounded, defensively, offensively, they have it all,
Yeah.
Arizona playing well, but I don't see why the Rams won't have a repeat, of what they did to Tampa, in Arizona. I think the Rams, is the we are Packer fans, but I think Rams is the team to beat in the NFC. So
Most
far, yeah. Yeah,
most
man.
definitely. And
Yeah.
here is
So
give me 1 second, Damon. Here's Sefton saying weed isn't the only thing God got caught for. Didn't he got PED too? Yes, he definitely got that. He definitely got busted for PEDs as well. But the weed was his main thing. That is always a part of Josh Gordon. So hopefully, he can stay off that. But you could continue.
no, yeah. So I was saying, with that said, I have I have the Rams winning by a touchdown. Yeah, in Arizona.
Okay. All right. And I think, and before I get to you, Dwayne, I believe that the Arizona Cardinals record has been somewhat not a true reflection of the team. Because if you look, I believe they played the Minnesota Vikings and the kicker got a
Mm.
easy goal
Mhm.
and he just missed. So
Yeah,
I believe,
that's why Devin said the Vikings, could have
yeah.
easily been,
Yeah,
turned out.
yeah.
So I think Arizona could be the one and two instead of
Yeah.
3-0. Because there was another game as well where they were a bit shaky, but things happen, and the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is a W. So with that being said, Dwayne, who do you have for this game?
The Rams have never the game the best team I've seen all season is the Ram. That game against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had no chance of
No
winning
chance.
that game.
No chance.
None.
Yes, sir.
They
Totally
couldn't do
agree.
anything to stop them.
Totally
So
agree.
until the Rams loses a game, I can't go against the Rams.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I,
Sunday night was prime for the Rams. I mean, how could they lose that game? You saw the stands. You saw who won over the stands.
yep.
you know. Yeah, and they lost that game. Maybe that would be the season for them. So that was like a coming out. A coming out part. This is who we are. So they had to show the A game Sunday night. Yeah, they had no chance.
And I was watching some reports, and it was saying that the Rams Stadium is like a $6 billion stadium, and I believe that the Rams played that game like it's a Super Bowl, like they were playing the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They were locked in. They were just ready to go, and Tom Brady was probably just another game for him. But the Rams on defense, on offense, on special teams, they were just so locked in, and boy. Who do you have winning this game, Devin?
So Damien and Dwayne, me and Kems had this thing to say. All right. So who is the happier person? McVay not seeing Goff no more, or Stafford being in LA around great players around him.
Stafford, man. Stafford.
So I went with Stafford. So I mean,
Stafford is in paradise.
since he's been there 2 times, he got like NFC Offensive Player of the Week. You know what I mean? And he's been doing good. And these 2 teams are averaging over 30 points per game. Both of them averaging over 30. So 2 high scoring team. And they're home. Rams are home. I don't see them losing at home. I'm going with a 34-31. And I like Kyler Murray too as a quarterback, but definitely the Rams is a better team. Donald is going to try. Like, he's not getting the sacks as he think he should be getting. So he's going to try and, like, get at the quarterback. Rams is still there, good in defense. I think going to be a close game, like a 34-31 game, but Rams going to win.
So to answer your question, and I think the Rams will win as well. But to answer your question, I believe Sean McVay is actually the happier person.
I remember you said that.
Because if you watch how I have never seen Sean McVay smile as much. I've never seen him smile as he's been smiling now. He's happy. He's jumping. I've never seen him done that. Never. Not even when they made it to the Super Bowl. So, as I said before, he's just tired of having to coach a perfect game for a quarterback who lack certain skills, So as a result of that, I think he's happy. And the whole locker room seems to love Matthew Stafford. And, hopefully the Rams carry it on. When they play the Packers, it'll be a different ball game. But for now, the Rams could have it. Next game, this is another big game. Because Seattle has not been playing well. They come into the season with high expectations. Russell Wilson was unhappy. I remember Dwayne talk about the noise. There was some noise around Russell Wilson. There was some noise around, I believe it was the center for Seattle. And for San Francisco, there was some noise around Jimmy G. Is he going to stay? Is he going to be the starter? With that being said, these 2 teams are in the same division. They go up against each other. Seattle desperately needs a win. San Francisco is probably heartbroken from, that 37-second drive by Aaron Rodgers last week. So who do you have to win this game? And I'll start with you, Devin.
All right. So far, I've been going with certain picks. I want to stay consistent with certain picks. I'm going for the more desperate team, in my estimation. All right, that's up for debate. So I think Seattle is the more desperate team. They're 1-2. San Fran is 2-1. San Fran win, they'll be 2. San Fran lose, they'll be 2-2. Seattle lose, it's a 1-3. 1-3. So I'm going with Seattle, even though the game is by 49ers. It's a 49ers home game. I think these two teams, I think they're evenly matched somehow. You have Metcalf is there, you have that guy Lockett is good there, and Kittle and all those guys are there. But then it comes down to me when the teams are so closely matched. I'm going with the better quarterback in my estimation. And I'm going with Russell Wilson. I like Russell Wilson, and I think he's gonna carry them home in a close one, 27-24.
All right. 27-24. And how about you, Dwayne? Who do you see winning this game?
I'm going to the 49ers. And the only reason why I'm going to the 49ers, they have the better defense.
Exactly.
Seattle hasn't been able to stop no one this year.
Nobody.
So I'm going with the 49ers, 28-24.
28-24. And how about you, Damon?
Yeah, 49ers to win and I think it's gonna be a nail biter. One of those close fourth quarter games. And I think Jimmy G is playing for his career. At this time. I mean, they've been winning the 1-2, but I think last week lost. I would say he played well. He basically had the game, and Rodgers took it away in a few seconds. So I see a repeat performance from Jimmy G this week. So I think he'll win this week. Yeah.
All right, and here is Shanika shouting out Dwayne. Nice to see my friend Dwayne, especially with the NFL discussion. All right, big up Shanika, big up. And as it relates to
Big up Shanika.
As it relates to the 49ers, right? Dwayne said it that they have the better defense. And, Seattle went out last season and they spent so much money. They got in Jamal Adams, traded away all the future picks. They paid Jamal Adams this year, but it just seemed like they can't get it together. Seattle has a lot of running backs, but it doesn't seem like they can find the running piece to run the football because they can't run the football. They have the receivers. They have DK Metcalf. They have Lockett, but they just seem like they can't get a full game together. They were leading the Vikings, and then all of a sudden, what's his name from Vikings? Cook. Yes, he just started running the ball.
Dalvin Cook.
Yes, he just started running the ball, running it down Seattle's throat. So as a result of that, I believe that with San Fran having the same formula as the Vikings, running the football first, and then Jimmy G throwing second, I believe that San Francisco will win this game, and Seattle will be in big trouble. All right, so now we'll move on to the other game. We have Mr. Chief Three saying that wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins though. It is that kind of game. Definitely. When you come on to division games, there is no set in stone who will win. Best record this, best record that, all that is out the door because these coaches are familiar with each other. These players are familiar with each other. Everybody know what everyone wants to do. So I believe it will be down to who makes the least amount of mistakes that will give them the victory. All right, so we have an undefeated team. A lot of persons are saying this team is a bogey team. Stefan said it earlier. So the Denver Broncos, who are 3-0, they welcome the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson beating the Chiefs and then beating Detroit last week. Devin, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, remember what I said earlier? No, man, I'm focused, man. I just checking something. Now, remember I was saying you have some teams that are 3-0, but they it's just they're not that good. I think Denver has an elite defense. They have good defense, but they beat Jets. Who else they beat? I'm trying to remember which other team they beat. I know they beat Jets because I see most of Jets and New York game. But I don't think they
That was the last game that they played against the Jets.
right. Like Dwayne was saying earlier, so producer or anybody could check it out to see who are the other two teams they beat. But like Dwayne was saying, the battle tested teams, this is the first battle tested teams they're gonna meet. Right? The game is in Denver as well, so that's a home game for the it's a home game for them. That's an
Yeah.
advantage for them.
They beat the Giants, and they beat the Jaguars. So they really haven't played
They beat
anyone.
Giants, Jaguars, and the Jets. Right. Say
They really
no
have-
more. Say no more. Say no more. So like this is the first big team they're gonna face.
Yes.
Hands down, I can't say that hands down. First big team they're gonna meet up on. And Ravens is gonna beat them. I see the spread is by one, Denver by one, I guess, with them being in Colorado and Denver being elite defense, and Detroit was kind of close to upsetting the Ravens. I don't know if why the spread is so low, but I definitely have Ravens and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens here to beat them by at least a touchdown. So I see this game being a 27-17 type of game. Broncos gonna lose their first. Like I said with the other team that was 3-0, if they actually win, like Colts beat Dallas, we can say yes. If they beat Ravens, we can say all right. We're gonna start look at them and take them seriously. But their defense is elite, though. I can say that. But I see it's at a 27-17 game.
All right, 27-17. Damien, do you agree?
No. I'm not sold on the Broncos. But I have them winning this week. I mean, even the spread for a 3-0 team at home, being just a 1 point
Oh
favorite.
wait, you say you're not sold on them, but you have them winning?
Yes.
Oh, whoa.
No, I'm not sold on them for the season.
But yeah, I get you. But you have them winning this game. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
winning this game. Yeah. That to tell you how much I think about the Ravens.
All right.
Yeah, man. So I just think, I mean, Lamar is good, but I don't know, man. I need to see some more throws.
Someone's throwing for real.
Yeah, man.
Saying that Ravens by 10.
I agree with your point.
Would you agree with Sefton?
I agree with Piner, but I agree with Piner, definitely. Ravens by 10. Yeah, Piner.
Do you agree, Dwayne?
Well, no, and I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
The
Tell us.
Ravens have been coming off two emotionally high game where they barely squeaked through a win. So they're on an emotional high, a roller coaster, and then they have been doing a lot of traveling.
Yep.
They went to they played the Chiefs in Baltimore. Then they went north to play the Lions. Now they gotta go all the way across. I'm a driver, so I know the terrain. They gotta go all across two different time zones to play the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Not the Buccaneers. To play
Broncos.
the Bronco. It's not gonna be easy playing at altitude in Denver. So that's the only reason why I'm picking the Broncos.
Those are some good points.
I definitely agree with that. And let me tell you about this Denver team, right? And this has always been Denver's philosophy, and that's why Peyton Manning went there, because they have always had an defense. They only wanted a quarterback to not make the mistake, right? And if you know, last two seasons, they were struggling after Peyton retired. They were struggling to find a QB. They had Drew Lock, they had Trevor Simeon, all those crooks, right? Now they have Teddy Bridgewater. He's not the most wholesale name here. He's not the most famous, but he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't beat himself, right? And with that being said, I don't think Lamar Jackson will be running around like how he ran around against the Chiefs and the Lions, because Von Miller will be there waiting for him, So I believe Lamar Jackson will have to stay in that pocket and throw that football. And we know when he throw that football, those corners are waiting to intercept the ball. So I wouldn't want to pick this game for all the bettors out there, all the gamblers out there. I would leave this game alone because this game can go any way. Any simple mistake can turn it around. What I will say is that I would say that Baltimore would have at least one turnover in the game. I would bet that one. That Baltimore would have at least one turnover in the game. So I'm not.
Kems. And Lamar has been injured. He has a back injury. He's not been training all week.
Yes, and that is it. Not been training all week, and then you go up to high altitude, and you're expected to show up game speed. That is tough. And if I know anything about this Broncos defense, is that they're coming for your head. They're coming for your head. They want to get you on the ground. They want to get the fans all riled up. So, this will definitely be a tough one for the Ravens. But, if you're a championship team, if you're a championship caliber team, these are the games that you win. Talking about championship caliber, right? Let us talk about the Green Bay Packers. They go up and they go up against the struggling Pittsburgh Steelers. I remember, in the offseason, Big Ben said he's going to work his way. He's going to come back in the best shape possible. But this is like a marriage, right? This is like a marriage. Like, you're married to your wife for 20 years, and then in year 19, she says she wants to leave you. That is when you decide, say, you want to start act right. You want to start stop cheating, stop flirting, and all that. That's not going to work, all right? So they're going up against Aaron Rodgers, who is definitely in. Who do you think will win this game, Dwayne?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, do you have a scoreline?
Uh, Big Ben arm is shot. My bet of the week, my banker last week was Cincinnati over
Mhm.
Green Bay.
No, Cincinnati over Pittsburgh, you mean?
Pittsburgh.
His arm is over Pittsburgh. His
Mhm.
arm is shot. He can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field.
Yep.
He can't throw 10 yards and beat Aaron Rodgers. And they don't have a running game.
Mm. Is
And all those TikTok videos ain't helping them.
You see, the thing is not doing. It's not that they don't have a running game because Najee Harris, who is an elite college running back, come from the University of Alabama. He can run the football, but the thing with the Steelers is that they have no offensive line, so they can't create any lanes for
There's
him to
no
run.
hole to run in.
Yeah, they can't create any lanes for him to run. And here is Sefton saying that watch Lamar Jackson burn Von Miller for the long run tomorrow. I don't think that will happen. But as we talk about the Steelers, right? Big Ben, said that he was coming back ready. Juju still doing his TikTok videos, as Dwayne mentioned. And the Steelers look like they are the worst team in their division. They play with Baltimore, they play with the Browns, they play with Cincinnati. I don't see which one of those teams they could beat to make the playoffs. So this look like this is the end of the road for Big Ben. Probably he can do some broadcasting on a team, do something like that. But there's no way he should be on the football field. So Damian, who do you think will win this game?
Let's look at your jersey. Let's look at your shirt. Um, yeah. Big Ben needs to retire. It's time. It's time. Same thing happened to Breeze last year. That's happening to him. This, as Dwayne mentioned, 10 yards, anything over that, it's up for grabs. So Packers is without Scantlin. I think he's on IR.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be any problem. No running game by the Steelers. A limited passing game with Big Ben. So I have Packers by about 2 touchdowns.
About 2 touchdowns. And before you go ahead and answer Kevin, with Big Ben, there was a lot of talk that, you know, elite teams, elite organizations always have a backup plan, always have a succession plan. And every time every time Pittsburgh attempt to get a quarterback, Big Ben make up him face, screw up him face, start treat people away, start, act really, act not nice, right? And as you see, a lot of quarterbacks don't like when their successor come in the building. When the Packers drafted Jordan Love, it wasn't, received well. Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers, it wasn't received well. So with that, do you think if you are the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, would you bench Big Ben and play Dwayne Haskins to see? Because Dwayne Haskins was in a bad situation over by Washington. Now he's in Pittsburgh in a model organization. Would you say that, Big Ben, without making it to the playoffs anyway, because, we're the worst team in our division and we're in the AFC, we're not making it. Do you think that you would bench Big Ben and say, Dwayne, show us what you can, because he can throw the ball down the field?
Nah, I think it's probably premature to say bench Big Ben, because they're not playing good, but they are 1-2. They beat Bills in the first game, right? They beat Bills, and Bills is a good team. So as much as I'm picking Packers for this game, you don't know. They can upset Green Bay. But bringing Dwayne Haskins and for a guy who, he has paid his dues and just to bench him like that, I think it's kind of premature to do that because it's just 3 games they won. I mean, they can easily go back to being a 500 team at the end of this week. So I think that's premature to bench him right now and start giving him snaps and reps. What's his name? Haskins? No, I think it's premature to do that. As for the game itself, one of my favorite scoreline is 27-17. So I'm gonna go with that 27-17.
And Kems, you mentioned the marriage between Big Ben and the Steelers, but if you should just if you follow Steelers over the year, you'll see that the owners are very loyal to players, loyal to coaches, etc. So that's why they don't really want to ruffle any feathers, because remember, Big Ben did well for them, so he's like, let's let's stay the course, but I think that they more look at it as loyalty over business per se when it comes to coaching and and the quarterback, because some analysts think Tomlin should be out of there already, so that show you just how loyal the owners are, to and that is why it's such a good organization as well, is because players know they had the back. If AB didn't act a fool, you'd be still there,
Still there, for sure. And I would totally agree with you, but I disagree with Devin because Devin's saying it's just 3 games, but we have seen the decline of Big Ben probably 3 seasons.
3 years,
Yeah, even last season when they played in the playoffs against the Browns.
And Kev.
Yes.
But he look worse every game. It's not like, you see a little gash here or there.
No.
It's not there. He doesn't have
best
it.
in the
He doesn't have it. Yeah.
Every game he look worse.
Yep, I agree. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record, ever. No matter who is at quarterback, from he has been coaching the Steelers, he has never had a losing record. And I fear that if he continues playing Big Ben, this will be his first season having a losing record. But the game is at 4:25 tomorrow, so we'll definitely look out for that. The big game.
Another thing, I don't cut you, but you mentioned Haskins. You realize that there's something about Ohio State quarterbacks that Big Ten quarterbacks. They're just not cut out for the NFL. That those game plan. Nah.
Yeah.
You can't say the same about Bama quarterbacks too.
Yeah, about Alabama quarterbacks.
But Alabama football and Big Ten it's similar, I think it's somewhat close.
Yeah, the wides out hit.
Power ball,
Player hit.
No, this is just a conspiracy. This is just a little conspiracy thing, if you say bench Big Ben, Roger got some name or call his Steelers owners and say, nah, can't bench Big Ben. You cannot doesn't matter. He's a bench Big Ben. No, ratings, NFL ratings going down, man.
Well,
you can't bench Big Ben.
No, man, but Big Ben.
I understand what you're saying about him.
Big Ben.
Is
Still
that
have a name. Still have a
no,
name. Still have
no,
a name. You can't bench him in Pittsburgh. That would be like a big part.
Well, big man,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with everything you're saying
that
about
was like
Brady.
5 seasons ago, bro.
no.
I know. It's like,
That's like
yeah.
5 seasons ago. Big Ben's
Big Ben don't know, man. Big
Big
Ben.
Ben.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
disagree. I
Tomlin,
I'm
don't
gonna
disagree.
borrow a phrase.
I still have him there, but like to
I'm
bench
gonna
him,
borrow.
yeah.
I'm
they're not
gonna
gonna bench.
borrow a
They're gonna wait
phrase.
and
I
just
think Tomlin is
you know.
afraid to
I'm gonna
bench.
borrow a phrase from Vin Blaine. He's not creating any waves.
I agree with that one. And on that note, we'll move on to the big game that producer love. We have, Tom Brady, who has been, with New England Patriots for 20 years, won 6 Super Bowls, and then, that marriage, was just broken. He's going back to Foxborough for the first time as a visitor, as an opponent. And if you know anything about Bill Belichick and his competitive spirit, he wants to win this game. If you know anything about Tom Brady and his competitive spirit, he wants to win this game as well. So, with that being said, you have Matt Jones, who they say is the next Tom Brady. And we have Tom Brady coming in, well-oiled offensive machine. It must be noted though that Rob Gronkowski, he is out for the game, so he won't be playing tomorrow. So with that being said, I will start with you, Damian. Who do you have winning this game and why?
Well, we know Bill. We know Bill. The genius. The genius he is. We know he's gonna try and put some pressure on Brady, but does he have the talent to do it? That's the other question. They should reach him. I think they'll reach him, a few times because Bill will focus on sacking Brady. Because that's Brady weak point. Once you're getting to him, he starts to fizzle. But I don't think the Patriots have anything to counter, the firepower coming out of Tampa. And Bill thinking revenge, Brady thinking revenge. Brady has the back it, Bill doesn't. So, I'll give Tom Brady the edge. Not just the edge. I think they'll win by maybe about another 2 touchdowns.
Uh,
There.
all right. And quickly, Sefton said if Haskins was better, he would have earned the job. But as Damian highlighted, he was saying that Steelers organization ownership very loyal. So
Very.
even if he probably deserve to win the job, they'll still stick with Big Ben, right? One thing, we have never seen Tom Brady being emotional to the point where it affects his game, And Peyton Manning, when Peyton Manning left the Colts and went to the Broncos and then came back to Indianapolis to play, he lost the game. He had the better team, but he lost the game, and he said it was a roller coaster of emotions. He didn't know what to think. He didn't know what to feel. Do you think, as I go with Devin on this one, Devin, do you think the emotions will play any particular role for Tom Brady where it might throw off his game or it might let him think twice in his head? Do you think that will play any part in it?
No. And as you mentioned that, I think prior to the game that they're gonna do some video in honor of Brady to pay a tribute. I don't think that will play any part in it. He's looking to not just win, he's looking to beat them,
Yep.
right? By
Yep.
by at least a score of 2 touchdowns, right?
Yep.
So and I see this guy, I don't know him, his name is Shaquille Barrett, a linebacker from Tampa, right? Saying that he loves to play rookie quarterback. So he's gonna seek to get Mac Jones. So they have a good defense. And my favorite player in Tampa, this guy that was in Giants with him dumb self that blow off his finger during fireworks. So him APP, yeah. It's one of my favorite player from he was in New York. So those guys, they like getting to the quarterback. They play a good, solid defense. I think it will be too much for them. I'm not doing any gambling this weekend, but I like to look at the spread. The spread is just 7. And I'm saying, what? That's 7? I think it'll be like by 2 touchdowns, at least 2 touchdowns. That's just my view. And that emotions, yeah, it is there, but the drive to be competitive, Brady will want to win and not just win. You know, and like the only thing as Damon was alluding to is that Belichick, he likes to get at the quarterback and he likes to get at Brady, so he'll strive to do because that's the only thing he can do. They can't win the game. Sorry, Patriots fans. I'm sorry, but they can't win that game.
All right, so Josh Ibang saying Patriots with Matt Jones, the future GOAT. So, let me ask you a question, Dwayne. Tom Brady, being a humble servant, Tom Brady has took several pay cuts for the Patriots in order for them to sign all the players that they had, for the Super Bowl winning teams. We have seen Tom Brady now win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick, but we have seen Bill Belichick struggle. We have seen Bill Belichick struggle to win without Tom Brady. First, I want to ask you two questions, Dwayne. What do you think the reception should be like from the Boston crowd? What do you think the reception should be like? And do you think that Bill Belichick needed Tom Brady more than Tom Brady needed Bill Belichick?
Well, Tom will get an era's welcome in Boston, and I'll tell you this: Bill has a losing record without Tom.
He does. He
He
does.
had a lose. He has, and putting the only way pressure affects Tom Brady, right,
Hmm?
is if it's coming up the middle. You can't if you're gonna rush him from the edge, he's gonna get rid of the ball before your pass rushers get there. So if you can pressure him inside, you ain't gonna get to him. And I think he's gonna be nervous at the first two series, but after that, when he get a knock of the game, he's gonna settle right down.
Mm,
So I'm picking the Bucks to win. I'll say 28-20.
okay. All right, 28-20. Not a bad score. And Devin, to answer your question, Antonio Brown has been activated off the COVID-19 list, so he will be ready to go for the game, right? I want to ask you another question, Devin, because we have seen where this Bucks defense is not the same defense from the Super Bowl. This Bucks defense has been leaking points. The Cowboys ran up and down the field, threw up and down the field on them. Every other team that they played, oh God, the Rams tore them apart. So, do you believe that there is a way where Bill Belichick can scheme a plan for Matt Jones, even though he's dunking, dipping? Do you believe he could scheme a plan for Matt Jones that could, because the Patriots is one of the best defense in the league right now, right? So do you think they could scheme a plan for Matt Jones to be mistake-free quarterback, but also drive the ball down on the Bucks defense, who has been very subpar?
Well, yeah, like I said, they've been subpar, but I don't I don't see them devising any plan to like you said to get at him because like all right, you're saying like the defense ain't that good in terms of the leak and anybody can score on them, but the Patriots is not like the offense is clicking and you know they're scoring a lot of points and you can see their identity in terms well
They don't have the weapons. They don't
they
have the weapons.
they just don't have the weapons. Like I said, I mean, there's nobody to threaten them. You know, if it was a different team, and you're saying, you know, you have other players around them and a better quarterback. This is like a rookie quarterback too. You know, you could see that happening. But like, you said Rams run up on them, right? And who else?
The Cowboys as well.
Good teams, though. Those are two good teams.
Yes, but let me ask you a question because you say you and Damien are saying that they don't have the weapons, but in all of Bill Belichick's career, this is the first year where he has spent so much money, tight ends, wide receivers, running back, and now he moved. No, they didn't move up, but no, they drafted a quarterback for obviously the first time they drafted a quarterback in the first round in 20 years. So why is it that you don't think that the Patriots can have, because what I believe will happen, I have the Patriots to win the game, right? I have the Patriots to win the game 27-24. And the
Oh,
reason
you
why,
do?
Yes, and the reason why I believe the Patriots will turn over Tom Brady, because if you watch Tom Brady, no, he is a free man, and Bruce Arians like when he throws the ball downfield and all of that. But the Patriots defense is really good, like really, really good. So I believe their pass rush will get to Tom Brady. He has to release the ball quicker than he needs to, and the Bucks don't have a running game. So, with that being said, they will depend on Tom to throw the ball probably 50 something times, and I believe he will be picked off at least two, if not three times. And I believe the Patriots will capitalize on that because I don't believe the Bucks defense is up to scratch.
Yeah. Well, not only picks. I'm looking for sack fumbles. 'Cause I think, as I say, I think Bill will send
The
everybody
host, the
at him.
host.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but with that being said, I mean, what Matt Jones gonna do with those turnovers against Bucks defense? Because I mean, it's not. Yes, Dallas, played well. Dallas offense played well. Rams last week, but as Devin said, those are can't say great teams. They are good teams. But I don't want to say Matt Jones. Yes, the upgrades are there. They're noticeable, but they don't come off age. Even a rookie Matt Jones, just throw him in, there. He's not there as it. So while we might see the Patriots playing well, say week 5 onwards, it's just not there now. Yeah, and
Okay.
as you all agree, it starts with the QB, which is a rookie. So
And
I
Kem,
don't see how they're
I
gonna do.
think the defense not playing as well as they did last year, right? But like, I think they have maybe 2 or 3 stacks so far of their 3 games. That's the Bucks defense, right? But I think this game, like you're saying some things you think gonna happen in the game, but this game alone, they're gonna have 3 sacks. This game alone, they're gonna have 3 sacks on the quarterback. So
Let's see.
yeah,
Let's see. Um, for the last game, which will be a Monday night game, we have, this is the division where Patrick Mahomes is in last place. So, we have to take key into this division. We have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'll go first. I've been really impressed with the Raiders. John Gruden out there, coaching his tail off. Derek Carr out there throwing that ball all over the place. Josh Jacobs out there running that football well. And I think his name is Darren Waller. They say he is one of the top 3 tight ends in this league right now. So with that being said, Dwayne, I see y'all gloated about Justin earlier that he's the best quarterback from that particular draft. Do you think that he beat Patrick Mahomes last week? Do you think he can repeat this and beat the Raiders this week?
Yes, yes, because the Raiders' record is flattering, right? They have won like two, the last 2 games in overtime that could have gone anywhere.
But they beat the Raiders.
And I think, hold on, and I think the Chargers lost to the Dallas Cowboys. They lost that game because they had too many penalties. The Chargers beat themselves in that game against Dallas.
Agreed.
So I'm going with the Chargers 34-31 in a high scoring game.
34-31. All right. And Damien, I'll go to you because I know Joe Burrow is your guy. I know you like Joe Burrow, but we have no other choice than to be impressed with Justin Herbert from stepped
Of
into the
course,
league.
of course.
It seemed like he has been in the league for 10 years, throwing that
Mhm.
football. When we talk about a quarterback being a leader, the team
Well
rallied,
poised. Well poised.
rallied around Justin Herbert. So, with
Mhm.
that being said, how do you see this game going?
Well, I'm going with Herbert. You say it just now. He's playing, beyond his years. Very
Yeah,
mature. Yeah. Managing the game pretty well. Takes over when he needs to. Um, the only thing with this game, why I think I have it like a 2 point game. Chargers to win by 2,
yeah,
and that is because of the crowd. It's a home game for Chargers, but it won't really be like that home game where you're gonna have like
yeah.
maybe the Chargers won't even have 50%. Of the fans behind them on Sunday. But I think Raiders, the escape against the Ravens last week. I don't know what happened there. So the Chargers is a balanced football team who I think should win in a nail biter. Yeah. So I'm giving Herbert the edge over Carr this week. Yeah.
All right. So, do you have a scoreline?
Where is it? Yeah, I think I have it 29-25. Well, 4 points. 29-25. Chargers. Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, David. So before you answer the
You need to
question,
take my score seriously, because I get a PS.
yes, ma'am. So, David, before you answer the question, there's a lot of talk about Derek Carr because his brother was in the league before, but his brother, fell out of the league, was called a scrub, was called a failure. So a lot of persons associate that with Derek Carr, but Derek Carr has always defied the odds. Even when he does this interview, he says that I hear these people talking about this, but I'm going to show them. And a lot of people say that he's a top 10 quarterback or a top 5 quarterback. Would you agree that he is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now? And if yes or no, why? And who do you have winning this game?
I'll put him to top 10. To think about him being a top 5, he's playing good, but there's Mahomes, there's Brady, Brady, Rodgers. And I'm just thinking, and Dak is playing at an elite level. That's four off the box. And I'm probably not thinking they're Russell Wilson.
Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford is playing. So top 10 maybe, but I'll have to think about it more if you get in the 10, but definitely not top 5. For this game, I'll go at 27-24 for the Chargers. Like I said, I like Herbert, and the way I've been watching quite a few of their games because we get it. I saw them on cable here. There's this guy named Mike Williams what's his name? Mike Williams, the receiver. He's been catching the ball real good, right? And this is what I saw now. I saw this on some NFL show. They're saying the only thing that the concern some guy is about. They have like a rookie left tackle or something like that, and they're saying the Raiders guys, they may get at him, but I'm thinking they're gonna win this one 27-24.
All right, perfect. So it's this time of the show. I want to thank you guys for coming out, and this is our first.
Kems, before you go, that same rookie tackle, I don't think he has allowed this season.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
Slater. Yeah, I'm watching some NFL show. They're saying like he's the only concern, but he's playing good. Right, doing.
Okay. All right. So, this is our first NFL show. Definitely not the last. We'll definitely try to continue to grow it. But at this point in time, I'll give each of you guys a quick 30 seconds, not a minute. Just a quick 30 seconds to just give us your last thoughts. You can talk about any particular thing you want to talk about before the night is out. Devin, go ahead.
Just to say again, before the season start, and through Facebook and through Messenger, I called him once. JQ, he's always upbeat about the Giants. I'll tell him, just lay off for the Giants for now and just wait. Just choose another New York team who you think can do something with, because you're gonna have headaches with the Giants. Like I've been here just like 6 years, and I realized it doesn't make sense now. You jump on certain New York teams. You get what I'm saying? The only New York team like I'm passionate about is the one that I attend a few games, and that's the Yankees. Like Nets, I'm not really a Nets fan, so like Giants, JQ, just forget about the season. Just look to see what they can do for next season. I'm not too sold on any New York teams except the Yankees.
All right. Quickly, Damian, your 30 seconds.
Thanks for the invite. I really I love discussing NFL, and golf without talk about golf. But it's good being here, sharing insights and listening to insights from you as well. And go Packers.
Sure. Dwayne, quickly, your 30 seconds.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I enjoy the show, and I can go back to my bed now.
All right. So definitely want to thank Levon, who is our original host, for giving me, the opportunity to host this NFL show. We want to talk about NFL for a very long time. And, he has definitely, give us this opportunity, give us this platform. Obviously, we have to big up our producer, Josh Carl, who wouldn't be, none of this would be possible without him, and also the viewers that we had and the commenters as well. Just stay tuned. I know NFL is not really as popular as it should be in the Jamaican space, but we're definitely trying to change that. So until next time, a lot of sports is going on. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Get all your people to subscribe, because we're going to grow this brand, worldwide. So thank you guys for coming. And, stay in touch. We'll talk.
Big
Okay.
up.
Big up.
Big up, big up.